Howdy and welcome to J76 Gaming. I am Jimmy Wild, and today I want to review the Outriders demo. Now, it seems silly to review a demo, but it is a noteworthy demo for a rather highly anticipated game. It's definitely getting quite a bit of action. Actually over 2 million players, so that's quite a bit. But so first off, a little business, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's very important to a small channel trying to grow, so thank you. Get that out of the way. But what's the deal with the demo? So Outriders is a third-person shooter. It's from People Can Fly that is coming out on April 1st. Now, you may know People Can Fly from Gears of War or Bulletstorm, but this has 4 different classes, a rather detailed skill tree for each of them, and it appears that the intention is really creating a character the way that you want to play. One thing is common for all of the classes: you have to fight to live. So healing in this game comes from damaging and killing enemies. There's no hiding in cover or using a med kit in this game. Now, the demo will let you play up to level 7 in World Tier 5. Now, the World Tiers are kind of like, they increase the difficulty, they increase the drop rates. Think of it like Division has World Tiers, and like Diablo has Torment levels, stuff like that. The demo includes the prologue, some side missions, and a boss fight. So what about the gameplay? Well, the gameplay is a fun shoot 'em up with some cool abilities. So shoot, loot, repeat. And after putting in 60 hours to a demo, I'd have to say that it's fun, or at least engaging, if anything. So far, the guns feel a little underpowered, like the abilities really are the star of the show, and thankfully the cooldowns are pretty short, and you can buff the abilities with gear to make some like really crazy combinations and really powerful builds. Personally, I would like to see the guns more powerful, even stacking a bunch of firepower, like all firepower. The guns below the legendary level, or maybe below epic, let's say it that way, don't feel really powerful. Maybe the snipers, if you can headshot consistently, those feel powerful. But I get the idea that they want people to push forward and not to hide in cover, thus the heal by attacking mechanic. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't love it at first, but it's kind of growing on me. I'm more of a cautious and methodical player, so balls to the wall is not usually my first choice. And I will say that I kind of miss grenades. Shouldn't every class have a grenade? And maybe they do later on, but so far the Technomancer is the only thing that I've played that has a grenade. So now, one thing that I really like is the accolades. You think about them like mini trophies or whatever, and you get 500 kills, you get an accolade or something like that. You get, 75 kills with a grenade, you get an accolade, stuff like that. So I love those little mini challenges to go through. So what about the story? Well, the story is generic, but whatever, it's okay. Humans ruin the earth and they're looking for a new home. Enoch looks good from space, but on the ground it's a different story. So that's kind of it. You're on this new planet, you're the last of the humans, and you're trying to survive. And humans apparently did what humans do, and they're fighting each other, and they're fighting the planet. So good times. So what about the loot? The loot feels pretty good. The guns all have different characteristics, and they can change the way that you play. Now, epics and legendary versions of these guns, now those really can change the way that you play. And I mean, depending on what you get, it could really change your whole build and your whole plan for that character. So that's really interesting. I really like that. I like when something feels really powerful and it means something. If you get it, it means something. You're like, okay, I am going to change the way that I play because of this. So I really like that. Now, I do have some nitpicks. I don't like that there's no way to mark favorites in your inventory. You can mark something to be deconstructed or sold, but you can't mark it as a favorite. That seems unfortunate. And I would really like it if it was super obvious when a legendary weapon drops. Like, it should be a spectacle. They're really powerful. They're really fun to play with, and they kind of just drop and they're like, oh look, it's a different color, and that's all it is. So I want fireworks and explosions, ba-boom, ba-boom. Like, look, you got this cool legendary to drop. So hopefully they can make some changes to that in the future. Or, to be fair, maybe later in the game, since we're only playing up to level 7, maybe later in the game there's so many legendary drops that they're not a big deal. So we'll have to see. Now, I would really like to be able to cancel skills. So like in Division, if you throw out a turret and you're like, oh crap, I need to move, you can hit the turret key again and it blows it up, and then it starts to cool down. And that's not the case here. So if I drop a turret and then I'm like, oh, I didn't want it there, I gotta wait. So that's not great. Also, I would really like to fast travel from anywhere. I don't like having to run to a fast travel point to fast travel. I don't know, it seems silly. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but I don't love it, to be honest. Also, this is probably a demo bug, to be fair, but it's really easy to get knocked out of sprint. Like, if you're running and then there's a small stone on the ground, there is a decent chance that it's going to stop you from sprinting. And that's not cool. So like I said, it's probably a demo bug, but if it's not, if it continues into the launch, it's unfortunate because, you know, each class has a melee ability, and that melee ability changes if you're sprinting. And so if you run up to a group of enemies trying to sprint and do a sprinting melee attack, and it doesn't, and it does a like a non-sprinting one, that kind of stinks. So hopefully they'll fix that. I would really like to be able to turn off the tutorial reminders. And now, once again, maybe this is a demo thing, but I don't need to be told, especially when I'm farming the captain. And if you don't know what farming the captain is, just Google that. I would really like to turn off the tutorials, because I don't need it to tell me that oh, hey, looks like you died. Do you want to change the world tier to something lower? No, I'm farming. And dying is part of that. Along kind of the same lines of, you know, little silly things, I would like it if the same key that opens, say, for example, your inventory, closes it. So if I push I for inventory, I would like to push I again to close it, instead of having to push escape. That's, I don't know, it's just because I keep my fingers on WASD for movement, but if I have to jump over to I, and then I have to jump over to escape, and then I don't know, it seems dumb. Just let me hit I and then go, okay, look at it, and then hit I again, and then go back to WASD. On a controller, it's not that big a deal, but for PC, that's it's annoying. And finally, I would really like it for the boss to drop the loot and not a chest afterwards. We want the loot explosion. The bad guy dies, boom, fireworks of loot. That's what we want. So hopefully they can add that in, and maybe that's only for the first boss, but we'll see later on in the game. And that's it for kind of my nitpicks. So what do I think in general? Am I going to be buying this game at launch? Yes, absolutely. I've actually already pre-ordered it for all platforms. Well, not all platforms. I got it for PlayStation 5, I got it for Xbox Series X, and I got it for PC. I will say, though, I will probably be playing mostly on PC because I'm terrible with shooters on controllers. So maybe the aim assist, actually that's another nitpick. The aim assist is not that great, at least on the Xbox. So maybe that gets worked out, or maybe I find a way to work with it better, and I'll like it better on the Xbox. But because I wouldn't mind playing on Xbox, just because I know that some of my friends will be playing on Xbox, And, you know, having built-in chat and everything like that is fine. But also, I will say that I can just play on PC and play with them on Xbox. So, happy days. I really love the crossplay. That's a great thing. Really great. So, on that note, that's what I think about the Outriders demo. Let me know in the comments if you checked it out, if you agree or disagree with anything, and I will talk to you later.